You don't need more leads. You need more of the right leads. And it all ties back to your positioning. So today I'm going to walk you through the 5 dimensions of positioning as it relates to a go-to-market strategy. Now, guess what? All this is coming out of our sales and marketing playbook. This is the exact playbook that we use to scale companies at Coltivar. And I'm going to reveal the 5 things you can apply in your business right now to get better leads, to drive higher profits, and just to create a more enjoyable and sustainable business. So let's get into the first one. When it comes to your position, the number one problem I would say most businesses struggle with is awareness. Unless you're a Fortune 500 company or you have a huge marketing budget. There's just so much noise and so much distraction out there that a lot of companies go unnoticed. In other words, customers don't even know you exist. This is where you have to get out there and grind, especially in the early days of business. You have to be doing cold outreach, warm outreach, creating content, doing events, paying for ads and distribution, etc. All this stuff you have to do to create more awareness in your business. And look, I know it's tough, especially with a lot of companies that are starting out because you're wearing so many hats. There are constantly fires that you have to put out. And at the end of the day, this is what gets neglected, but you constantly have to reach out. This is critical. Okay, that's the first thing. Next, you have to overcome understanding. So customers may be aware of your business, but then when it comes to understanding, they may not know what the heck you even do. And I see this problem all over the place. Very smart business owners with really good products and services, but they have a hard time communicating what they actually do as a business. I know for me, like even in my business in the early days, I had such a hard time describing what my business actually does. And we're still refining it. Like every day we get more and more clear and we simplify our message because the key is you want your ICP to quickly understand, oh, that's your business. I understand what you do. I understand how you drive value. And I understand more importantly, what pains you solve for which ICPs, ideal customer profiles. Now, once they have understanding, we move on to the next one, which is relevance. The market's aware of you. They have an understanding of your business. But then the question is it relevant to your ideal customer profile? You like this girl with her crazy hair? So you have your ICPs right here, and they're like, okay, great, we get what you do, but it's not relevant to us. So perhaps when you are creating content or when you're reaching out, you're doing it in a manner or you're doing it on channels that aren't relevant to these people. So think about it like this, like TikTok. A lot of people are on TikTok. They're scrolling, they're watching funny cat videos, they're having a good time, and then all of a sudden, somebody like me comes on. Hi, I'm Steve. I help companies to scale. Like, obviously, that'd be terrible. They're like, why are you interrupting my fun? You're the buzzkill, right? So choosing the right channel to make sure that you're clearly communicating to your customers what you do and it's relevant to them is super important. If you overcome this relevance problem, what you then have to do is deal with being unique. And think about out there in the market. I talked about all this noise, all this distraction. There's so many companies. There are all these competitors. Every day it seems like businesses are popping up all over the place. And then you think about the channels, like even Instagram, YouTube, etc. A lot of them are becoming these cesspools of AI created content. So it's like, how do you stand out and how do you become unique in the eyes of your ICP? Because you want them to clearly understand, okay, your business is way different from this company or that company, and that's why I'm going to choose you. So by creating clarity for your customers, why they should choose you over the competition is going to give you a leg up out there in the market. And then the last dimension comes down to trust. Can customers trust you? Do they trust your offer? Do they believe that what you have to offer them through your products and services will actually solve their pain point? These are the 5 dimensions that we walk companies through when it comes to their positioning. And here's a quick exercise that you can do in your business to determine how you're doing and what to do next. So for example, you score yourself in the following areas, starting with awareness. Green, check, you're on track. The market is aware of you. Green, they understand you. Your content is very clear. Then you get to relevance and you're like, but we're not super relevant to our ICP because we may not be in the right channels. Uniqueness, it's super crowded. There are a lot of competitors. We're red here. And with trust, you may be at a green. So when you start to score yourself in these dimensions, then what you could do next is decide, okay, what actions are we going to take in order to improve each of these areas? And I would focus on your biggest problem areas, especially your reds and yellows, and then go from there. So uniqueness, you're like, okay, we need to solve this, we need to solve that. So when you do this within this framework, chances are you're going to get better leads, more profit, and overall your company is going to be more sustainable. But it all starts with strengthening these 5 dimensions. All right, I have more videos on this channel that talk about strategy and how you can scale your company, so be sure to check them out. Cheers.